Hello, hello, and happy December. After the chaos and the excitement of Black Friday, Cyber Monday, I thought it would be fun to do a more casual, chatty style video. So today I am doing the Grown-Ass Woman Tag. 9 questions created about 8 years ago by Erin Busby, who has the channel Busby Style, and more recently brought back by the lovely Susan, who has the wonderful channel Little Poet. Many of my favorite creators have already done this tag. I will list as many of their channels and their videos in the description box below. And please feel free to answer any or all of these questions in the comment box below. It's a great way for us to get to know each other. Question number 1. What would you tell your 20-year-old self? Oh my gosh, so many things, but I would definitely say floss, wear your SPF, and save money. You can tell I'm sort of a practical person, but I really wish I had started all of these things much sooner. But I would also say just go for it. You know, in my younger years, I had fantasies or dreams of becoming a veterinarian or a flight attendant or a beautician. I even thought about becoming a model because I was tall and skinny and everyone said you should model. But all of those things just seemed so far out of my reach. But ultimately, I decided on the safer path of a nursing career, not only because I am a natural-born caretaker, codependent, anyone, but also because it just seemed like a simpler, more clear-cut path that represented safety, security, and respect. Now, I don't regret my decision. Nursing was a very good career for me. But to this day, I do wonder about those paths not taken. So if you can dream it, give it a try. Whatever your dreams, go for it. Question number 2. Favorite bands from the 70s or the 80s? Now, I graduated high school in 1978, and one of my good friends in high school was on the school newspaper, and she would do music reviews for concerts. So we literally would head downtown Minneapolis several times a month and see all kinds of concerts. I saw the Rolling Stones, The Who, Led Zeppelin, Simon and Garfunkel, so many concerts. It was a lot of fun. The 70s had such great music. I listen to 70s classic rock to this day. There's way too many for me to mention, but I will say I listened to Carole King Tapestry over and over again, Cat Stevens, Sean Phillips, Linda Ronstadt. Oh my gosh, HBO Max just did a fabulous documentary on her career called The Sound of My Voice. What an artist. And does anyone remember Melanie? I used to love her. She was such a cute little hippie chick. Of course, I loved rock too. I loved the Eagles, Led Zeppelin, Stairway to Heaven, one of my favorites. Fleetwood Mac, absolutely loved him, still love Stevie Nicks to this day. And I have to give a very special shout out to our Minnesota crown jewel, Prince. What a talent, what an artist. And he really does represent the soundtrack of my 20s. Question number 3. What one person influenced you the most in your life and why? Absolutely 100% without a doubt, my mother. She was my best friend. For most of my life, I lived within a half a mile of my mom, except for a few years when I lived in California. So I literally saw her or spoke with her on the phone literally every single day. My mother was pure love. She was kind and considerate and joyful and funny and intelligent and stunningly beautiful. Every single person who ever met my mother absolutely fell in love with her. My mother had me when she was very young, so I was absolutely positive I would grow old with my best friend, my mom. But unfortunately, she passed away way too soon, very suddenly and unexpectedly, shortly after her 64th birthday. That was 16 years ago this month, and there is not a day goes by that I don't miss her and think about her every single day. You know, I have this fantasy about a Mount Rushmore style monument carved into the mountains for angel princesses who left us way too soon. And on this monument, we would have Princess Grace, Audrey Hepburn, Princess Diana, and my mother. That was the caliber of woman my mother was. If I could be half the woman my mother was, I would consider myself completely self-actualized. Question number 4. What makes you angry? I would have to say extreme rudeness and extreme inconsideration of other people. Now, this is probably not the best example. It's sort of a pet peeve. But let's say you're in the parking lot of a grocery store and the person in front of you stops their car in the middle of the aisle because they've spotted a person coming out of the store with a cart. And they sit there waiting for the person with the cart to get to the car, unlock their car, load their groceries, and they're just sitting there waiting with no thought that they might have 2, 3, 4 cars waiting behind them. I just think that is the height of rudeness and inconsideration and laziness. Question number 5. What truly makes you happy? Definitely hanging out with family, especially my daughter since she lives so far away. But other things that bring me joy, I have had a lifelong passion for gardening. I love playing in the dirt and getting my fingernails dirty. I love to travel. Living in Minnesota, a warm beach vacation in the winter, that brings me true joy. And I have a thing for sunrises and sunsets. No matter where I am, I'm Googling sunrise time, sunset time, and I try to find the best place to view the sunrise or the sunset. I feel very, very lucky because I live literally a half a block away from one of the best sunrise views over the lake and about a half a mile away from one of the best sunset views over the lake. And of course, my best buddy, Bosley, my 13-year-old mini golden doodle. He's my best friend in the whole world. You know, one of the things I love to do is watch Bosley play with his best friend, Jimmy, the cat who lives next door. They play together like little puppies and kittens. They have so much fun, and it always brings a smile to my face. Bosley is my best buddy. Mwah. Question number 6. Have you had a facelift, Botox, or fillers? And what is your honest opinion on all of it? First of all, these are all very, very personal decisions. There is no right or wrong way to age. No judgment here. Live and let live. As far as my own personal experience, I have been very transparent about the fact that yes, I do a very light Botox treatment in my 11s about every 6 months, and I have been doing this for pretty close to 20 years. I have a whole video on my Botox journey. I will list it in the cards and in the description box below. Currently, however, I am about 2 or 3 months overdue for Botox, so currently Botox free. Interestingly enough, as time went on, year over year, I would get a lower dose and less frequent treatment. So who knows how much longer I will be doing Botox. I have heard people say that Botox is sort of a gateway towards overdoing some of these treatments. That hasn't been my experience. I did play with filler a little bit in my early and mid 50s. I had cheek filler twice, just a very small amount, lip filler once, not to make my lips look bigger, but just to replace some of the volume that I had lost. And while I did like it, it looked nice, it was very subtle, it's really expensive and I just didn't choose to keep it up. So it has been probably 7 or 8 years since I have done any filler. And while I would like to think my face is filler free, there is some new information that filler can stay in the tissues longer than originally thought. In fact, I saw a video that was pretty scary. I will link it in the description box below, and it really made me not want to do any filler anymore. Now, other treatments I'm interested in, Sculptra, which is an injectable, but it is not a filler. It actually is an injectable collagen stimulator, and of course laser. But here's the thing, all of these things cost so much money, and it just never seems to be at the top of my priority list when I'm looking at my financial resources. As far as surgery, I've never had any surgery. You know, if money were no object, I probably would be tempted at some point to have a little neck lift or a little tweak here and there. But with my budget and my financial resources, none of these things are just at the top of my priority list, which might be a good thing because I truly do believe The older women are beautiful. Growing older is a gift, and I just want to try to grow older gratefully. But never say never, and if I ever do any of these things, you ladies will be the first to know. Question number 7. Fill in the blank. I wish I was more adventurous. You know, I tend to be a very cautious, almost a fearful person. I think that's my nursing training. You know, as nurses, we are trained to try to anticipate what could possibly go wrong and take interventions to prevent the risks and complications. And I feel like I have just internalized that sort of mindset too much. I'm always thinking about what could go wrong. So I really do strive to be less cautious, less fearful, and more adventurous. We're coming into the home stretch here. 2 more questions. Question number 8. Your all-time can't live without beauty product. I am going to interpret this as makeup because I could not pick one skincare all-time favorite product. There's SPF, there's tretinoin, there's moisturizers. As far as makeup, if someone had asked me in my 20s or my 30s what was the one cosmetic I would bring to a desert island, I would have for sure said mascara. But for about the past 20 years, the one cosmetic product I cannot live without is 100% for sure lipstick. Even on days where I don't have a stitch of makeup, sunscreen, lipstick out the door. It gives my face life. It makes me feel pretty. It makes me happy. And I have a lot of lipsticks. You know, a couple of months ago, I did a makeup declutter series. You did not see me declutter my lipstick because I love all of them. Here are just a few of the lipsticks that I have. You know, I have a lot of Lisa Eldridge, but I also have a lot of Revlon and Maybelline and affordable lipsticks. Absolutely love my lipsticks. Cannot live without them. Last question. Question number 9. What are 3 words you live by? I have a couple of 3-word mantras, if you will. Number 1 is do unto others and go for it. So that was the grown-ass woman tag. Please, please, please share your answers to any or all of these questions in the comment box below. It's a really great way for us to get to know each other. And with all that being said, I hope you have a beautiful day and a wonderful week, and I hope to see you in my next video. Thank you. Bye.